All right. Welcome back to the N1 Sports Podcast. My name is Riley Viss. Next to me is Blake Parks. Also, Axel and Marco. We have two guest speakers today. Yeah, we got 2A today. We'll start out with District 1. It is Cumber Catholic at home versus Manson Northwest Webster. This game was postponed probably to Tuesday or Wednesday.
Tomorrow at 5:30.
It is tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow at 5:30. So Tuesday at 5:30. But we do have number 27 Ridgeview taking on Missouri Valley at home, and 27 is a popular number in this matchup because that is all Missouri Valley scored. 59-27 Ridgeview dominates, and they move on to a really tough matchup. It is number 27 Ridgeview coming in as a 3 seed versus number 26 East Sac County coming in as a 2 seed in this district. We've seen this before, and East Sac County was supposed to win, and they lost to the 3 seed. What was that, 2 years ago? They did lose? So let's hope they can. Was it South Central Calhoun? That was the team that was the third team. Yep. So yeah, OAB CIG is the number 1 seed in this district. They are ranked number 2 in the state. They have a home game versus the winner of Cumber Catholic and Manson Northwest Webster. So basically a 15 to 20 point win against either team. I have OABCIG versus a tough matchup here. Let me quickly pull it up. My sub-state won. Never mind, I just have sub-state. All right, who do you guys have facing OABCIG? Axel, we'll start with you.
In my honest opinion, I have OABCIG playing Ridgeview before the state qualifying game. And I have them losing by at least 10.
At least 10. He said it here first, yo. If it happens, he's coming after everybody out there. Marco, who you got?
I have the same matchup, but I have OABCIG winning.
Okay. So
I
you
don't know
have,
about how much, but they'll win.
yes, sir. Blake, OABCIG versus Ridgeview or ESAC?
I honestly got East Sac County regarding all their past playoff runs with the number 3 seed. It doesn't seem to sit well with them, but they keep getting the number 2 seed. So, but I think this year they'll end up handling it. It'll be a close matchup, but I think they'll come out of it. And I have OABCIG winning by at least 15 plus.
That's not a bad one. The two brothers, what's it going to take to stop them, Blake?
What's it going to take to stop them? Well, really all you got to do is probably put your 2 best defenders on them. I wouldn't necessarily say double team, but if it comes to that, you probably have to double team Cooper before you'd have to double team Cooper's little brother.
That's all he is. Poor kid.
That's right. I don't know his name, so. But it's all right. Cooper's the more popular one as of right now, committing to Iowa. So
Playing football, quarterback, right? I believe so.
I don't actually know what he's committing for to Iowa.
I think it's football.
I heard he
quarterback.
might-
Football.
Yeah, it's for
football,
yeah, I
but
know
he
it's,
might change his position.
yeah, I know it's for football,
okay.
but it said either defense or offense. He wasn't sure yet.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, basically all you gotta do is double team Cooper. Maybe not right away, but you stop those 2. Then your next option is to figure out who's the best next scorer.
Yeah, we look at this previous matchup. East Sac lost to OABCIG by 12 early in the season, and Ridgeview beat them by 7, and then lost to the OABCIG by 15, and then lost them by 10 again. How many times y'all play each other?
They probably played.
Oh, it was
in their
conference. Yeah, they have a
tournament.
conference tournament on like the Siouxland. I wish
I'm
we had
like
that.
everybody.
So they played 3 times this year and possibly playing 4 times. The series is 2-1 OABCIG. And that is OABCIG's only loss. They're 11-1, only loss coming to Ridgeview.
Yeah,
So-
they beat them twice in a row. I mean, it's tough to beat a team 3 times in a row, but you kind of figured out how they play. You played them enough times, you should know. And the same thing with Ridgeview. So if that happens, then it could be a fun game. But
They lost to Ridgeview on the road, and then they beat them at home, and they beat them neutral site. This game will be neutral site if they meet up. I do have OABCIG going on to Sub-State. And it's going to be a tough matchup. Either team that wins, I don't think East Sac County's going to win. This is going to be the third year in a row where they lose as a 2 seed.
I
So
believe in
might
them.
as well keep running.
I believe in them.
Underdog, Ridgeview, 27 versus number 2, OABCIG, and I have OABCIG handling that game. It'll be closer on the scoreboard, but they will handle the game from start to finish.
Yeah.
So, basically that wraps up 2A District Uno. Let's head to District 2. We have West Sioux taking on Hinton at West Sioux tonight, and we watched that for the most part the whole game. I think we started at like halftime. And Hinton comes out on top, 54-50, and they will travel to the other black and gold team in Northwest Iowa. That is Boyden Hall. That is Thursday. Boyden Hall is ranked number 1, and the 1 seed in this district. Obviously, those two play each other, and I will still take Boyden Hall by 25. I don't think Hinton's big enough to guard the two better players, or Marcus and Tisla. I don't think they can guard him, either one of them. And then the bench players just can't guard them either. I think Hinton is in for a huge surprise what the Siouxland really is, because they're used to playing the War Eagle all season. But I could be wrong. I still think Boyden Hall wins at least by 20. Blake.
Well, didn't know I was going to be first. Even though I didn't go to Boyden Hall, if they can play like they did at the beginning of the year, basically all year, despite a few games where it was closer. But I think they will handle this one just fine. I'm going to go with a 30-plus point win.
Axel, Marco, what do you guys got?
I see a pretty dominant win from Boyden Hall. I don't see Hinton winning this any.
I don't think they have. I think they have 3% chance. I give it 3.
30%.
Axel said it's 50-50.
Well, it's that every game.
Every game 50-50.
You
Until you
know.
play Boyden Hall at home.
Technically,
You never
he's not
know.
wrong, but like,
But yes,
Boyden Hall's worst performance was against Okoboji and their 9-point win. That was their worst performance.
But the closest game was a 1-point win to Rock Valley in overtime on.
Still wasn't their worst game played.
Yeah, I
I
know.
was thinking my boy
Of course, it comes to Okoboji last year.
What's that, Marco? Shout out Dayton out here.
Shout out Dayton, yeah. When we hit the game winner.
All right, I can't find Hinton. They must be irrelevant. I like Hinton a
We're the
lot.
War Eagle.
Their best game was a 39-point win over Trinity Christian, and their worst was a 5-point loss to MMCRU.
MMC, oh, no.
That is their
To a 118?
that is their beautiful resume. Boyden Hall's best. Beautiful here, Blake. You want to hear this one? Boyden Hall's best performance is a 28-point win over the Rock Valley Rockets.
He dunks that game, I remember that.
Anyways, we'll move on. We got number 28 Cherokee at home versus Maple Valley. Do we have a score on this one?
I did not find a score on this
We do
one.
not have any scores on this one. It might have been postponed. Not sure, but I'm sure Cherokee won this one by 18. Probably have that dot on the spot. They will travel at Unity. Unity is ranked number 14 this year. That is a 2-3 matchup. Unity being the 2, Cherokee being the 3. Cherokee's ranked 28. So we have 3 ranked teams in the top 30 here. In the final 4, I have Unity beating Cherokee by 12. I think Unity struggles. Unity is a good team, but they definitely aren't as good as the teams they face in their district. Unity versus Cherokee, who you got?
I got Unity. I shouldn't say it's no brainer, but it's Unity. They're They're athletic. They play tough. They play good defense. Even though they are from the War Eagle, they do make their free throws more than most. And Cherokee usually, after a good year, they have an up and down year. I don't know what the score will be. I think it's probably going to be within 15 points.
I said 12.
It'll be within 15, 20 points.
Axel,
Unity wins them.
yeah, Axel Markwell. What do you guys got?
I do have Unity winning just because they're always usually a really athletic team,
Yeah,
but they just never seem to find a way to make it to state. But
except for their girls.
girls.
yeah, the girls are dominating. But I have Unity winning at least within 10 points.
Marco?
I have Unity as well. I'd say, 10-point game. When we played them there, it was a tough game.
Yeah, they're always tough. They always got really good defense, and they can always put the ball in the hoop, which is really good for basketball, I guess. Let's take a look at the best performance by Cherokee this year. It is a 15-point win over Storm Lake, and their worst performance is a 10-point loss to Esterville Lincoln Central, who went 9-12 this year. They ranked 40th in 3A. That is not a pretty performance to put on your resume.
But it is a 3A school.
You're right, but Esterville is booty cheeks. But then we look at Unity, and they have a really good resume looking here. Their best game is a 25-point win over Lamar's Galen, who is 6 in 1A. That's a huge win for them. And then their worst performance is such a bad game. 43-point win over Akron Westfield. 43-point win is their worst game. So I think Unity dominates this game, but only wins by 12. Which is very possible because a lot of teams, you dominate the entire game, you just cannot pull away because I guess your offense just isn't tough enough. And now we look at Boyden Hall versus Unity. Boyden Hall was home versus Unity earlier this season and dominated them by 20. I was not at this game as I believe the COVID restrictions were still going on, and I have not been to any games except for one. Were you guys there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've
we were
been to
there.
most of the games this year.
Yeah. Dominant win, or was it just
They played pretty well. They
Yeah.
were playing. Boyden Hall was playing a little below the expectations in the first quarter,
I remember.
like always, but
yeah.
then they just dominated the second half.
We usually have a pretty weak first quarter, but then we really step it up at the halftime.
Boyden Hall was projected to win by 10, and they won by 20, so they really played better than what they were supposed to, but obviously Boyden Hall is better than what most predictions are saying because I don't think any team is really up to the par of Boyden Hall this year. Their offense is just too good, and their defense is just physically sound. We will get to Rock Valley, Blake. Don't worry, we will go biased in But yeah, we have Boyden Hall winning this district. That's 4 votes to 0, and the District 1 is pretty open between us 4. With, I think the favorite was OABCIG. OABCIG versus Boyden Hall. What is that one, boys? 1 versus 2 in the entire state of 2A.
I'm not picking.
Top 2 teams in the state. I think Boyden Hall wins this one by 8. I think they get the lead up to 15 in the third quarter. I get really into detail with my predictions. Up to 15 in the third quarter. OABCIG is going to dogfight this one back, and it's going to end up being an 8-point win for Boyden Hall because their free throws will just hang on to the game at the end, and their defense is going to end up locking this game down with their offense coming with their defense. You guys got a prediction on that game? It's going to be a dogfight.
It's going to be a pretty good game.
You have one of the most physical, athletic guys in 1A, 2A, and Cooper DeJean versus one of the most sound scorers in Northwest Iowa. Obviously, there's many scorers in Northwest Iowa, but really the 3 best players in this sub-state going at it. I don't see any other player coming to the top between Cooper DeJean, Marcus Kelderman, and Tanner Tesla.
And Dylan Francis. Going off
He has been going off pretty well. Shout out Dylan.
Yeah, 3-point sniper, bro. He's a walking 3. He's
So is our boy Trey.
Yeah, Trey too.
Yes, sir.
Trey
Shout
Shear?
out to Trey.
No, Trey. What's his last name?
Trey Prachampong.
Yes, sir. Let them know, dude. I think we're talking to Duke for you, Trey. Don't worry, bro. We got you.
You got good schools.
And now we head on to the one that Blake should know more about, and this is Class 2A District 3. This one has a bunch of very talented teams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ranked teams out of, what is that? 6? 6. 5 out of the 6 teams are ranked. Do I not?
It's 4 teams.
4? I counted West Line twice. I went to
West Line
Boyd
and
Hall.
Central Lions.
All we know how to do is play sports. We don't know how to add math. 10 plus 3 is
13.
white kids. Anyways, we have number 25 Central Lion at home versus Sheldon. We watched this game. It was a good first half until Central Lion dominated the second half. And Sheldon was Sheldon for the past 3 years. 73-50 was our final. I think it's not a 5-point game at the half, 6-point game, and then it ended as 22. Good job, Sheldon. And then we move on to the second game of this district, and we have number 23 West Lion at West Lion versus Sibley, and Sibley was just dismantled by Boynton Hall, and they ended the season horribly with a decent team. 66-39, West Lion dismantles them as well. And yeah, that's the end of the season for Sibley. One of the better seasons Sibley's had in the past recent memory that I
Last,
can
like,
think of.